What's up guys, and in today's video, we're going to be unboxing Clock Mirage. So Clock Mirage is the latest Beyblade X Beyblade, and I recently bought this from Mall of Toys and it finally came in the mail today, so I'm going to be opening it. But the catch is, I only bought one of these and it's a set of 3, so it's going to be all up to luck based on what I get. So I accidentally cut off the top, my bad, but here's the packaging. So as you can see, this is part of the UX system, and it's the 16th release, and it's a random booster. And these are the 3 variants I can get. Hopefully I get the gray one, because I think that looks pretty cool. If I get the pink one, that would be pretty bad. And here on the back you can see all the graphics for Clock Mirage. And this ratchet's going to be unique. I'll talk about it later in the video. Moment of truth. Looks like I got the first one, which is a prize Beyblade, so that's pretty cool. So here's what comes in with this manual. So as you can see, I got the prize Beyblade since I got the first one, and on the box, the first one's the prize Beyblade. And then this is the manual. I'll just show you guys real quick. It's nothing too special, it's basically everything we know. This is stuff that a beginner would need to know. Here's all the parts. First up, we'll take a look at the blade. So the blade is Clock Mirage. Clock Mirage is inspired off of Twisted Tempo, which is part of the Beyblade Metal generation. And if you were from that generation, you would probably love this Beyblade. So this Beyblade consists of the engraved sides on the wheel. It's kind of like a nickel or a quarter if you touch the sides. And then I really like the time engravings on the top. I think it's a pretty cool look on this Beyblade. And then for the motif, you can see like the time. You can see the long handle like turning really quickly, and it's disrupting the motion of time. So that's pretty cool. And then this is like a teal color there. And then if you take a look at the bottom, this is what most people are having a controversy about, because most people don't like the ratchet and how like it's a pretty long distance, and it's gonna attack, other Beyblades are gonna attack the ratchet much more often than the top. So that's the only problem about this blade, but we'll test it out in battle pretty soon, so we'll see if that's true. And yeah, so the bottom, it also has some engravings. It kind of like reminds me of a UFO if you like look at it from this side. And yeah, you can see that special mechanism I'll be talking about when we see the ratchet. So let's go to the ratchet. So here we have the ratchet, which is 965. It's in the pink color, and it's a new ratchet. So you can see that it's kind of like the ratchet that comes on Hover Wyvern from the Hasbro Beyblade X lineup. If you saw my last video, you probably know about that. So if you haven't, I recommend you check it out. So anyways, this ratchet should be pretty good on the Clock Mirage blade, because it's kind of circular, but also it's triangular. So it's pretty good for stamina types and balance types probably. And as you can see, the special mechanism I mentioned here, it only works with this specific blade and like a Hover Wyvern. But if you take a look at Impact Drake and like other normal Beyblades, it's gonna have this mechanism compared to this one. So it kind of like limits the customization of what you can do. So that's the only problem with this ratchet and the blade. And then we have the bit, which is ball. So we've seen this many times. It's a pretty top tier bit, and this is a yellow / neon color, I think. It's a bright yellow color, and as you can see, it's just a ball. And hopefully it enhances the performance of this Beyblade, because it's gonna need it. So now let's assemble the Beyblade. And here's the Beyblade fully assembled. So sideways it looks pretty bad, but then the bottom, pretty basic. and the top, it just makes it look pretty cool. So now let's go to the stadium and do some test battles. So we're at the stadium. Here's Clock Mirage, and we'll be doing 2 test battles today against Drawn Buster and Impact Drake. So first up, we'll do Impact Drake versus Clock Mirage. And just as a notice, I'm probably not going to be following the actual Beyblade X rule system. I'll do that from now on, but for now, we'll just do whatever I think of. Probably the Beyblade Burst system, point rule. So yeah, first 3 points wins. So Impact Drake wins 4-1. As you saw, that was a pretty big loss for Clock Mirage. So now let's move on to the next battle. So we have Clock Mirage versus Drawn Buster. First 3 points wins. So Drawn Buster wins 4-0, and as you can see, Clock Mirage has some pretty bad burst resistance. So I'd say it's pretty cheeks in terms of performance, as you can't really get it to do anything unless burst it. So I'd give this Beyblade a solid 6 out of 10. So yeah, that's about it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys. Bye.